we go. We should be live.
Okay, yes.
All right, cool. So we are definitely recording.
Yes, we are.
Okay, great.
Well, I mean, I checked on that. But we are at least live. So
we lose one episode and then we're just paranoid forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first episode doing that high as a live didn't do you?
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Yeah. We're done. We're done.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so you want to explain why this isn't special A?
Yeah. Okay. The last one we did, which tragically was 2 months. Which the last episode that we did was on Cowboy Bebop. We went over the entire show. We talked for like 2 hours because it's hard not to for a show that fucking big. And at the end of it, as always, we randomized our next option, and it turned out to be Special A. But
yes,
watching Cowboy Bebop is a very exhausting experience. Much to our fucking surprise.
Yeah. I wasn't very surprised.
I was. I've seen this show a bazillion times. I didn't expect to be this fucking tired because it's just doing its own thing from week to week.
Yeah. And it's also just a very weighty show and also like a fairly long one.
Not to mention it has a big downer ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the point is we kinda did like Adam got in the mood to like watch Hinamatsuri is just kinda like a cool down on his own time thing and
yeah.
It was quicker to get through, so we're doing it first.
Yeah, it's
especially will probably be next.
Yeah, it was specifically a case of I'm kind of down from the ending and kind of exhausted mentally. I need a lighter anime to watch, and I asked you to recommend I asked you which one do you think would be a good one, and you gave me a list.
Yeah. Hey, Ghostword.
Yeah, Hinamatsuri was on the list. I forget what else we had. We had sitting.
I don't know. There were a number of things. I think you just kind of asked me to name like the shorter, like more comedic shows, and that was just the one that stood out to you.
Yeah.
Which it was a show I'd kind of written you to watch for a bit anyway.
Pretty much, yeah. I'd only seen I think 2 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was kind of wanting to do anything anyway with this, of like just sort of like kind of have like A show, B show in terms of what we're watching, just as it makes it easier to get through stuff.
Yeah, because binging on one show can be exhausting, even if it's not something as big as Bebop.
Yes, and admittedly, this taking this long to get up is partially a matter of circumstance, partially a matter of I took too long to get around to watching it myself.
Yeah.
Then it was had more circumstance. I know for at least a week or 2 we were not planning to get to it, and then it just had to getting pushed back for various reasons.
Yeah, my last day off, we were all set to do it, and I just had like the worst fucking day.
Yeah.
I was just exhausted. And shit like that just kept happening.
Yeah, so yeah, that's essentially just where we're at. It was just like Hinamatsuri was just kind of the cool down show for Cowboy Bebop, which I mean it's not like Special A's very weighty either.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's it kind of is when you factor in how fucking long it is.
Yeah. Because it's the same length as Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time since I watched it, but I imagine it feels about as long as Cowboy Bebop.
It's kinda? I don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah, we'll get Special A when we get to it. Okay, so do you want to explain what Hinamatsuri is?
I understand it's a holiday in Japan called Girls' Day, in which young girls are allowed to display prominently and intricately made dolls in their houses.
Yes, there's a whole episode of Pokemon about it.
Yes, exactly. It's a day celebrated by sticking lickitungs on each other.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this anime has nothing to do with that.
Yeah. I had to make that joke because we just now promoted this on our Discord, and the response was like, "Wait, like the holiday?"
Yeah.
Because it's an easy mistake to make because it's like, why would you name your anime after the holiday if you have nothing to do with it?
I mean, it is about a bunch of girls. The main character is named Hina.
Yeah. But it's like in the same way of like, Do you know what Negima is? It's a dish made with leek. It's like it has nothing to do with the premise of the manga Negima, other than the fact that the main character is named Negi.
Yeah. It's like if you had a show named Chris and you just called it Christmas.
Yes. Oh my god, I can actually see that being an anime.
Yeah.
The Adventures of Chris Coon.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, the actual premise. No.
Yeah. Terminator, but adorable, basically.
Yeah, that's a fair way to put it. I mean, to be fair, they even did very on the nose referencing Terminator at the end of the first episode. So
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Okay. First episode we have our main character. Our main character, well, one of them, I don't know which one you would actually count as it, is a yakuza named Nita.
yes.
Actually,
I thought her brow looks weird there.
yeah, she's got like this kind of Cro-Magnon thing going on.
Yeah, it's like medium weird with her hair.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I think that point needs to be like thicker.
The point in the hair.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So Nita.
He's a yakuza. He's actually they don't shy away from the fact that he is a yakuza. They works in organized crime, but he's very much like a kind of a pencil pusher kind of member. Like he runs legitimate. I think they say he runs the legitimate side of the organizations.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of thing of like he's very much involved in illegal activity and all this, but like he's kind of a pushover.
Yeah.
Although not in terms of like being meek or anything, because he's kind of a hard ass. He's just not. How about this? He's kind of like the equivalent of just sort of like he's basically a salaryman but a yakuza.
Yeah, oh my god, that perfectly sums it up.
Yeah.
It nicely illustrates that the yakuza are more kind of quote unquote legit than other than other organized crime organizations.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so he has a basically he just sitting at home like looking at his vases, and the like suddenly Hina appears, who just like
a wild Hina appears.
Yeah. And she's just like this like psychic girl from the future, and he ends up adopting her.
Yeah. It's just
and on the face of it, that just sounds like simple, adorable, like, oh, his heart's warmed by this, like, charming, innocent girl who needs him. They know, like, no, not really.
No, he has not stopped. He at no point ever stops being a yakuza. If anything, he uses her. Having her in his life makes him makes him get promotions and makes him move higher up in the ranks of the organization.
Well, and also Hina isn't like innocent, like, oh, I'm just looking for a place to stay or whatever. It's like she's like a lazy. I
was raised to be a killing machine, but I'm as pure as the undriven snow.
Yeah, but no, she's just very lazy and kind of like. She's kind of a Ray clone, sort of.
She's a Ray clone she's almost like a parody of a Ray clone, because in a lot of ways, I'm going to pull up a picture of Hina so people know what we're talking about here.
Yeah, it's how she's not very expressive, but she's clearly not like emotionless.
Yeah. Well, Ray's not emotionless either.
Well, no. I'm just saying, like, in terms of the archetype.
Yeah. She has blue hair, as you can see. She has magical powers. I think the implication is that she was grown in a lab, or raised.
Yeah,
or raised in some.
I know in the manga at least. The show never really comments on this, but in the manga, all the psychics are clones.
Okay.
And it's implied they're cloned from themselves.
Oh wait, there's a Hina as a normal girl in the present.
No, like a time loop then.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
If this weren't a comedy series, I'd call bullshit on that.
Yeah. We should have prepared for this sooner to Photoshop some relevant phrase onto her shirt.
Feed me.
Well, I was saying relevant to the podcast, but
oh yeah. Next time.
Because that's just kind of a weird running down with Hina. Just her shirt just tends to say things relevant to the scene.
I know how we can do that when we get to Special A.
Yeah. And yeah, I do love the feed me thing.
Yeah, it's just like a recurring gag where like anytime anyone wants any sort of like deeper meaning from her, all she cares about is just feed me.
Also, anytime anyone like projects words into her mouth, that's always what they picture her saying.
Yeah. But yeah, she's robotic. She doesn't understand how a lot of normal human acts or human behavior functions. But instead of being like hopelessly innocent, kind of the way that, or endearing the way that Rei Ayanami or a lot of her clones are, she's just kind of petulant and selfish.
Yeah, like she does have her softer side.
Yeah,
but for the most part, she's just very like self-centered and lazy and like sort of entirely focused on immediate gratification.
Yeah, in a way that actually does make her feel like a realistic child.
Yeah,
because she is a little girl, and there is a feeling of like, oh, this kind of does feel like how a kid her age would act.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not. I would say 12 is probably a little high level for her, but
yeah, true.
she doesn't really have a history of socializing.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we start digging into the supporting cast at this point? Because I think we've pretty much laid out this dynamic.
Yeah. The dynamic on Hina and Nita, it's like
Oh yeah, right. We didn't really talk about their dynamic specifically.
Yeah, because he is.
I think it's pretty well done, but it's like they feel like a very realistic, like father-daughter pair, and like they're not like doting or anything.
No.
But like honestly, they kind of treat each other like garbage a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But
in a way that you can still tell that they care about each other. Mostly, there are some points where they kind of go too extreme.
Yeah.
I can think of a couple examples of that, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that the bit with like Nita celebrating in particular feels very out of character.
Yeah, there's a scene where it looks like she's going to have to go back to the future and leave Nita behind, and she's all broken up and sad, and there's like this big tragic moment, and then it turns out she can stay, and there's a big dramatic run back to the apartment, and then burst through the door, and it turns out Nita's just like popping confetti poppers and getting drunk. They're like a big banner that says she's out of my life forever.
But I do like that an episode or two later she's still mad about that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's a great little touch.
Yeah.
It's like I would honestly probably be more pissed off about it if it wasn't genuinely funny.
Yeah.
It's one of the things where
it is kind of a show that runs primarily on just like, okay, what would get a laugh right here?
Yeah. There's also an episode where he kicks her out of the house, which does feel kind of callous, but I honestly, she did kind of need that. She did genuinely need that bit of reality, I think.
Yeah. Granted, it did come from like her trying to be helpful, and she just messed up.
Yeah.
It wasn't really like entirely like a selfish gesture that led to it.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah, I think the episode might have been stronger if it was. But anyway, yeah, they do have a father-daughter dynamic, but it's just not. But they never push it too far in their face and try to make it too schmaltzy. Moments like that do, at the very least, undercut that element to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you kind of come for the like, Yata's and his adopted psychic daughter stuff. You stay for the supporting cast.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, which one do we talk about first?
I'm gonna say
I'm very split on Anzu and Hitomi.
Yeah, I think we might have to talk about Anzu first, just because I think she's the one who flows the most from this premise, because she is directly linked to the whole Conqueror from the future thing.
Yeah. Okay, so Anzu is like the heart of the show.
She really is. Now that you think about this, hang on, let me pull up Anzu. I gotta. These visual aids working much? You think?
What is it?
These visual aids working much? You think?
Yeah, I think it actually had some like personality to things.
All right.
Yeah. Anzu, I really like her jacket.
Yeah.
Like coat rather.
I was very sad when she stopped wearing it, but it made sense.
Yeah.
Okay, She is also she's also a
How did she keep it so clean whenever it's white?
oh shit, you're right. How did that happen? She's living on the streets.
Yeah.
Being homeless taught her how to bleach clothing really well.
Maybe she like uses the psychic powers to like psychically lift the dirt off of it.
She can do that, but she can't get herself fucking money. It's incredible. Yeah. Okay. Anzu is another like a clone psychic child from the future, like Hitomi. Like Hina. Fuck. That's not work good. Like Hina, and I think she was sent to the past to bring her back. Was that?
Yeah, she was sent. She was sent to bring Hina back.
Okay.
So yeah, she like goes to like fight her. Hina wins. Well, they don't even really fight. But
yeah, I was about to say that's a very generous use of the word fight there.
Hina did still nearly break her fucking neck.
Pretty much, yeah. Anyway, through some sort of like dumb deal that she made with Hina, she can't use her psychic powers now that she's stuck in the, and she also can't go back to the future without Hina.
Yeah.
So she's essentially stuck in the past without any psychic abilities.
Yeah.
So she becomes homeless.
Yeah. And like, okay, initially she's like very like angry, self-centered, like just kind of has no hesitations about just using her powers to like force people to do shit. Whether like that coat I mentioned, like she stole that off some bikers.
Yeah.
Because when you come from the future, you're native, does Terminator.
Yeah. That was a weird Terminator reference they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, so initially she's like that, and like has some like very tsundere, like I don't care about you or anything with like Hina and stuff.
Baka?
Yeah. And so then she ends up living on the streets for a while, and then she starts like robbing people to get by.
Yeah.
And then she falls in with the local homeless community.
Yeah. And by falls in, we mean she goes fucking native.
Yeah.
Like she lives in like a shack that they build for her. She starts embracing their way of life of being like absurdly trendy and begging for food. She starts doing shit like, you know, collecting cans, collecting old televisions. So much of her identity is now just gone into being homeless.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, and you know, given all the unpleasantness, it was very nice seeing an anime of all things that had such a comforting portrayal of like making the homeless look like fucking people.
Yeah.
It's not glamorizing it or anything, but it is making it clear that they are just fucking people trying to live their goddamn lives.
Yeah. So yeah, and like as this goes, she becomes a lot more just kind of like hardworking and eager to please, and just kind of like genuinely becomes like a better person from it.
Oh man, that sounds like a terrible way of phrasing it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Homelessness makes you a better person.
Yeah. It's how I think of it. Sort of breaks how like arrogant and shit she is, and just kind of makes her more down to earth and like eager to help people.
Yeah.
And eventually the homeless like arc ends. Honestly, it kind of goes on for less time than I thought it did. But
it ends. I think before the halfway point of the show.
Yeah, I think she's only actually homeless for like 3 or 4 episodes, but it's like,
huh? Shit, it feels like way longer.
Yeah.
The point is,
they had to do a lot with it while that's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, they get a lot of like story potential out of it.
Yeah. But either way, yeah, by the time she's like no longer homeless, like she's basically like the most like sweet, friendly, eager to please person around.
Yeah. And like
a lot of stuff with her works really well. It's just very sweet.
Yeah. They kind of
a lot of stuff with like Hina and Nita's like more comedy driven with like Anzu's kind of the heart of the show. Like she's kind of where you go for the more serious stuff.
Yeah, Anzu is designed to just hit you right in the feels, like in universe.
Yeah.
Because yeah, after having been homeless, she is now like obsessed with just how much like spending as little money as possible, work and also while also working as hard as possible to get to kind of improve her station in life.
Yeah.
And also just undying loyalty, because the homeless people, the reason the homeless arc ends is because the park that the little homeless community is squatting in is being like there's, I think they say there's like a law that's been passing, they can't stay there anymore.
Yeah, it's like they're being driven out of it.
Yeah, which they do portray as sad. So it's like, dude, where the fuck else are we supposed to go? But they have enough awareness to say like, okay, you're a kid, you shouldn't be living this lifestyle with us. We got this nice, friendly older couple to take care of you.
Yeah. And something I like about it is that like they don't like, it's a little thing, but the show does at least kind of have the sense to like have people like protesting on like homelessness at the behalf and shit, like showing like there are other people who support them.
Yeah, it's not just, oh well,
including like all their characters in the cast.
Yeah, like the otherwise very terrible the otherwise incredibly immoral bartender woman.
Yeah.
Oh god, we're gonna have to get to her.
Yeah. I have pronounce it like Udiko. I don't know what the name is, I'm just not entirely sure how to say it.
Yeah, I think that's it, Udiko.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, what? Honestly, I might be a decent segue into talking about Hitomi.
Possibly. We still gotta talk more on this one though, because it's just like, yeah, Anzu is very sweet, very innocent, and
she doesn't feel like a completely separate character. She still has like the tsundere elements.
Yeah, you can see
but she's still snippy.
She is, and you can see how she went from arrogant conqueror of the future to sweet former homeless person who just loves her foster parents and wants to be a good daughter. It's a very lateral transition.
I think what it is it kind of reads like, how to put this, her being like that before is less because of like, oh, she was just a bad person or whatever, and more because like up until that point she never had reason to care about other people before.
Yeah,
it was kind of a new experience for her.
Yeah, in a way that's actually a good sum up.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, Anzu, like I think a lot of the best stuff in the show comes from Anzu.
One thing I like about that in particular, god damn it, they're on the same layer. Okay, one thing I like about that in particular is the fact that they do portray her life story as just being impossibly sad even within universe. There's all these really sweet moments when she's with her new foster parents because they own a restaurant. And she's just seeing like, oh, your meals cost like this one dish at your restaurant costs like $5, the equivalent in yen. It's like, I could get like, why would people pay that like such an exorbitant amount of money when they could get so many just cups of ramen for it?
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, that's the most heartbreaking thing I've ever fucking heard. Holy shit.
Yeah, there's like that. There's like her washing the chopsticks. Like...
Yeah, they're like, because the restaurant throws the chopsticks away at the end of the day, but she's just like, but you can still reuse them. We should we should reuse the chopsticks.
Yeah. The show manages to make you feel really bad about her not being able to buy a back massager.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
It's just, there's some like her flopping down the bed. Also, there's a moment where she feels really broken up about the fact that she got a really good home, but all of her friends in the homeless community just have to keep living their lives on the street.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus God, they do not pull any punches on Anzu. I'm realizing more and more just how sad they made her. Her whole little arc. Just heartbreaking.
Yeah. Sorry, now I dropped in the chat for a minute.
Yeah. No, I get.
Okay. Yeah, Anzu like is really good for that. And I really like all the contrast they do. One with Hina, because like they do bring up of like, you know, how like, yeah, Hina's kind of living in luxury is very like easygoing and lazy.
Yeah.
Like Anzu has it already difficult and works hard.
Wait, does that further reinforce this weird, creepy idea that being homeless will make you a better person?
What is it?
Does that reinforce this weird, creepy idea that being
I
homeless
wouldn't really say so, because they
better...
do specifically address that, because when Hina's homeless, she's still useless at it.
Oh god, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Hina's just shitty.
Yeah. Anzu even says, like, she's not even fit to be homeless.
I forgot that line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, so Anju is just a darling, adorable girl who everyone loves. But yeah, Hina just remains the funnier one.
Yeah. But Anzu still can be funny.
Oh yeah, yeah, she's still.
It isn't like the comedy stops when she's around.
True. It's just the comedy on her is more focused on, oh, my life is so shitty that it is funny watching me react to basic comforts with other.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of contrast to the Hitomi off that too.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of which,
yeah,
you go to Anzu for the heart. You go to Hitomi for the character. You go to Hina for the comedy. You go to Hitomi because she's just the best fucking character in the show.
Yeah, I got split between Hitomi and Anzu on that, but I would say certainly Hitomi's the funniest character in the show.
Yeah. It took me a while to figure out what picture to go with for her.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't go with that one picture.
I thought this was kind of adjacent, because that one picture requires a lot of... I don't like it over there. I'm going to put it over here.
Yeah, fair. So, yeah, Hitomi is just like a... Okay, theoretically, she is a normal girl.
Yeah, how do we fucking start a Hitomi? She's a weird character to describe.
Yeah. Basically, she starts all... Like, she's just Hina's, like, classmate. Like, right. Just kind of a... I don't know if friend's entirely the right word, but...
Ow!
Well, I mean, there is that bit where they, like, someone asked, like, hey, is Hina your friend? She's like, no, she's just something that eats and sleeps.
Okay, what I love about that line is that not only sounds like Hina is not my friend, that implies Hina is no one's friend.
Yeah. What's funny is I've heard in the manga, like, after the time skip, like, in high school, Hina's like the most popular girl in school, like everyone loves her.
That sounds like I can understand that in terms of rule of funny.
Yeah. But yeah, so she's just a theoretically normal girl who is to school with, who gets pulled into working, like, she gets pulled into, like, tagging on with Hina to, like, investigate where Nita's doing at night.
Right. And it turns out Nita is a Yakuza, he is going out to get drunk at a Yakuza-owned bar.
Well, I don't think the Yakuza actually own it. It's more just kind of affiliated. I don't think she's actually part of the Yakuza. But...
There's no fucking way they're not paying protection.
Yeah. At the very least, it is pretty clear that she is certainly affiliated and has contacts, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway. So basically, like, one thing leads to another, and Hitomi ends up working as a bartender.
Yeah.
Despite the fact she's 12.
Yes. And they're entirely...
What is it?
And they are entirely upfront with just how fucked up that is.
Yeah. And what's funny is that's initially like a one-off gag.
Yeah.
And like watching that episode for the first time, I was kind of like, I actually really like this dynamic. I want to see more of this. And then no, that's just a thing she does from then on.
Yeah. It's just, okay, she's just a bartender now, even though she's 12.
Yeah.
They even have a point where there's even like a mini story arc where one of the bar patrons is I think her principal.
I think he's there occasionally. Also, her teacher's like a regular there.
Yeah.
But I'm convinced that she's an identical girl of the same name.
No. If I were your 12-year-old student, would I really be serving you drinks?
Yeah.
And there's an element of like, oh yeah, I guess that does.
I think it's a thing where at first he like kind of doesn't fall for it and is just kind of like intentionally ignoring it, and then he just kind of convinces himself like, oh no, it's legit.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, and then this leads to her taking up other jobs.
Yeah, because what was it like? Somebody? Oh, I remember what it was. Like the people at the bar, they're all salarymen who are depressed because their lives are terrible, and they're just like, oh man, I can't get somebody to sub in for this one job at like the baseball
Yeah, also
stadium.
she needed money because she had her own place to away from her parents. Because they're
Oh
getting
yeah,
suspicious.
yeah. Her parents were like, "Why the fuck are you coming home so late every night and smelling like alcohol?" And I think the response was like, I'm working at, I'm serving drinks to Yakuza members." And they didn't believe her, and so she has to buy her own place.
Yeah.
So it spirals out of control with her using her connections in the bar to get more and more like weird part-time jobs while still being a bartender and still going to
And still
school,
going to middle school.
still going to school full time, and just being exhausted and having her own apartment at the age of 12.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like so much comedy just comes out of Hitomi's suffering.
Yeah. And she's got that kind of like
It's sort of like pointy hair there. But over the top, it's very flat.
ooh, yikes. It's like two-pronged. Oh, way too big. There we go.
Yeah, yes, so, yeah, a lot of the comedy comes from that, and just kind of like the contrast of things, because, Hina's all lazy while she's, like, super hardworking. Like, Anzu, like, has no money and is, like, constantly, like, wow about everything, while, Hitomi has plenty of money.
Hitomi is also has plenty of logic and natural and common sense.
Yeah. But she just can't say no to people.
Pretty much, she has that kind of a. What I'm trying to think of like what you would even call this character, like that kind of Hey Arnold sort of character where they're always sort of helping everyone who needs it.
Yeah, she's kind of like Arnold, but very exaggerated.
Exaggerated, and also the show presents her with nothing but people who are going to take advantage of her constantly.
Yeah.
Just constantly being strung along and made to do things she doesn't want to do.
Yeah, she's blackmailed into being the bartender in the first place.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh god, wait, she doesn't even want to get her own place because of to get away from her parents. She
she forced her hand down to make her sign it.
Yeah, the woman who blackmailed her into becoming a bartender and runs the bar says, "What do you mean your parents are getting suspicious and you can't pin at my bar anymore? The patrons love you and they're coming back specifically because of how charming you are. You have to get your... Obviously, the solution is for you to buy your own apartment to get away from your parents."
Yeah. Yeah, and like there's the thing like it's time for you to drop and start making your own choices while she's like forcing her to stamp the paper.
Yeah. Just yeah, again, and because she's this doormat, she can't say no.
Yeah. To be fair, she does try to say no on the bartending thing. She just gets outsmarted.
Yeah, pretty much. Should we?
Yeah, Hitomi, it's like she's a character like you feel bad for her, but it's funny.
Yeah. You feel bad for her, but you want her to keep suffering.
Yeah.
Especially for how many gags just come out of her being a normal middle school student with this life.
Yeah. And also, like, how casual they are about the bartender thing. Because they like, it's not really that uncommon to just have, like, a bar scene going on, and, like, other characters are talking about completely irrelevant things, and you just have her in the background making drinks.
Yeah, just serving cocktails.
Yeah. It's like a lot of comedy comes in how casual they are about it.
Yeah. Honestly, there's even a point where I think even she forgets that she's actually a kid and shouldn't be doing this, and she has that moment of clarity, like, what the fuck even is my life now?
Yeah.
Like while she's shaking a.
She also has a lot of like internal monologue moments, like, oh, such a childish way to look at the world.
Yeah, like she's listening to her classmates like complain about Fortnite or whatever, and she's just thinking to herself like, man, they really are children. They have no idea what the real world is like. It's just like, oh my god, I'm fucking 12. How am I thinking about this?
Mm.
So much humor just comes from that weird dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, so it's yeah, I think it's Utiko as I pronounce it. Like,
yeah, the bartender. I have a picture of her queued up. I don't think I have. Yeah, let's see. I think that's about it in terms of like wait.
the only other character I can think of I'd want to say that much about offhand is Sabu, and he doesn't get that much screen time. He's just kind of funny.
You see he's Nito's he's
He's like
Nita.
the assistant guy.
Yeah, the guy with the perpetually closed eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just Nita's dumbass assistant in his Yakuza job.
He's basically who the show goes to when they need an idiot.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, because comedy shows always need a dumbass.
Yeah. But I kind of like just how many problems in the show are his fault.
Yeah.
He's the reason. Yeah.
He's the reason she couldn't get that back massager.
Yeah. Yeah. So Utiko though.
Yeah, woman who runs the bar and I think is associated with the Yakuza. I don't know.
Yeah, she certainly associates with them. I don't think she's actually a member. I don't think she's actually a member.
Okay.
But yeah, she's like she blackmails Hitomi into being bartender because she sees potential in her, and then like pretty quickly her entire business model is dependent on Hitomi.
Yeah.
And
she walks
like,
the line.
Yeah, she kind of wants this weird line of like there really isn't that much to like about her, but
at the same time,
she's all bad.
She's funny. That's kind of mostly it.
Yeah, and she's the main person you see like fighting for the homeless. So
yeah, she's leading a march to help like let the homeless keep their place.
She also has that soup kitchen.
Oh yeah, she did, didn't she?
Yeah. Which, to be fair, from what I understand, there's a backstory for her that was like never actually gone into, but it was like planned. That does kind of explain that. It was like, I forget the exact circumstances though. It was something like she was like a runaway from like a Catholic store or something, which is why she wears like the cross necklace.
Okay.
So it's like she'd probably be able to relate, but apparently the manga never actually went into that.
Huh.
It was just kind of a thing that was planned.
Huh.
I know she at least has a couple of lines that kind of sound like they're alluding to that.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the dub version of that line is funnier. The thing you just brought up a second ago.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to talk about that one moment, so I was like, oh, that's one picture I don't have. I meant to get a picture of it, and I just never did. So yeah.
Yeah. It's the same girly club there. It's like in the
no, it's
gentlemen's club.
Yeah. It's just like it.
It's very pointy elbow. Well, it's dislocated.
Yeah. Ooh, yikes. Yeah, the positioning wasn't helping on that either.
Yeah. I hope everyone's appreciating my random art comments.
it's always just classic part of it.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know how much else there is to. Should we talk? Actually, wait. I can think of one thing. We should probably talk about the parts of the show that don't work, because I think there are a decent amount.
Wait, should we talk about Mal?
Was that her name? The redhead?
Yeah.
Yeah. You go into Mao's thing. I'm just gonna cue a picture of her.
Okay, yeah. So Mal is a character who appears in like 3 segments in this whole show, including how it opens and closes.
All the pictures of her are in the tropical. Oh dear, I don't. I'd rather not put that on here. No, I got it.
Okay. Yeah. So Mal is just a third girlfriend in the future with psychic powers. Who ends up stranded on a deserted island. There's like one segment focused on this, but it takes up like half an episode.
Yeah.
And like also both the opening to the first episode and the ending to the last one are focused on her.
Yeah.
Like in addition to the desert island thing that happens like halfway through. It's like she's a hard character to judge because she kind of feels like she's only there for season 2.
Yeah, she was clearly made with the intention of we're gonna do something else with this in the manga. Like,
yeah,
no, she was
much
in
more present in the manga.
Yeah, she was in the manga. It's like, oh, we're gonna put her in season 2, but then season 2 never happened. So fuck it. Why is she in the season 1?
Yeah, I think the stuff with her works fine. Like the desert island thing, I think has a lot of stuff to like about it. Like how increasingly more like tragic it is that she just kind of realizes the reality of the situation.
Yeah, it's sad.
The Anzu and Hina like coconuts.
Yeah, she has like the Castaway Wilson thing where she makes little dolls resembling Anzu and Hina because those were the closest things she had to friends. But even in her mind, she can't make them say anything that's friendly. She just keeps projecting them. Anzu saying mean things and Hina just saying "feed me."
The funniest bit is whenever she like, throws them and Hina yells "feed me."
Yeah, again, like in Castaway when Tom Hanks throws Wilson out the hole.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing of like I think it kind of works okay, but it's like it does kind of feel like if you were going to do this, you probably should have been sure you were going to have a season 2, especially closing on it.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's opening and closing on it is where I say like, no, this doesn't work at all. You shouldn't be
To be
doing.
fair, the opening is very brief, but yeah, the closing then is like half the last episode.
Yeah, it's why would you spend this much time on it if you weren't sure you were going to get a season 2?
Yeah.
It's like either do this plot line or save it until you like if you can't do this plot line justice now, wait until you can.
I do know kind of why they did that because the band guy she's with, like throughout that.
Oh yeah, that character's so minor. We're not going to go into what his deal is.
Well, that's the thing. In the manga, he is the reason that the bad future happened.
Oh, okay.
Like his like pursuit of like magical powers, what led to the cloning system. Like,
okay.
So like,
it's a weird ass time.
He is eventually a big deal. It's just within the show, not really.
Yeah. In general, it's like this game had a much the manga went into a lot of stuff that the show never did.
Yeah. I know of at least one thing that happened in the manga that I really wish happened in the show.
Yeah.
Which is where like Hitomi goes to the US to like sightsee and like learn English and something, and she ends up being sent to like a military school.
That could only happen to Hitomi.
Yeah. So therefore, like whenever like afterwards, like she can speak English, but like every time she does it, she just like constantly cursing.
Yeah. She learns English from Arlie Ermy.
Yeah. Yeah, so so things about the show don't work then.
Yeah, I would say Mao is a big one. Just because of all the time that's put onto her, but doesn't really contribute anything to anything. And it's kind of a personal pet peeve for me when a show has a really when a show has a bad opening or an opening that kind of fails to stick the landing. Actually, I shouldn't say opening. Opening is something different. A first episode.
Yeah. I think the first episode for the show is fine, but it does kind of give you a bit of an inaccurate picture.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of just focused on Hina and Nito, whenever like so much of the show is its supporting cast.
Yeah, very true.
Oh, I threw you over something worth popping up on screen.
Yeah. Okay, give me a second. It's a pain in the ass, like getting this into the broadcast.
Yeah.
I say that I'm getting quicker at it as we go.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, the first episode is like I think it's good in isolation, but it isn't the best like lead into what the show is.
Yeah.
Also, there's at least one early because I've read some of them on, not gigantic. I've read some.
Yeah.
There's one early thing that happens in the manga where like I don't really know why they didn't put this in the show. Maybe it was just pacing because it would have been really funny.
Yeah.
Which is basically like someone like shows up armed, like takes Tina's class hostage, and she manages to fully defuse the situation just by not having any idea what's going on, just kind of managing to accidentally talk the guy down.
Sounds bizarrely adorable.
Yeah. Like she just starts talking about wanting lunch, and this just kind of makes him like start getting all nostalgic for like when he was a kid and stuff.
Nice.
Then everybody just grabs lunch together. Like by the time Dad gets arrested at the end, like everyone's like really sad to see him go.
For the record, I'm really looking forward. This just made me want to rewatch the Gentle Criminal arc in My Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that kind of show where people will just write off horrible things because they're touched.
Yeah. It's kind of a show where not a lot has a lot, like, kind of all the weight in the show is on Anzu. Like,
yeah.
And to an extent, it's Homie, but it's like not a lot really affects Hina and Nita.
Pretty much not.
Nina's coworkers try to kill him at one point, and he just kind of gets over it.
They try to kill him.
Happens more than once.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Yakuza, so there is a point where they're like, okay, you're getting to, we need this guy taken care of. Go kill this warehouse full of people. And they're obviously just setting him up to be killed.
Yeah.
But it's fine because he just has Hina kill everyone in the building.
Yeah.
And then later,
yeah, they were fun. They were all saying "owie."
Yeah, that's a weird running joke that the dub does, where like anytime anyone is hurt, whether it be smacked on the head, getting a bone broken, being thrown from a window, the response is always "owie."
Yeah, like I think Hina even says it when she breaks her leg.
Yeah, like Nita's spinning her around, she breaks her ankle, and she just says "owie."
Yeah.
I don't understand this running gag at all, but it's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, there's that. There's also the bit where like they think he's trying to like weasel his way to the top of the like food chain, so therefore they throw him in a barrel of cement.
Yeah. And the reason they think that is because for some reason the Yakuza boss is like basically seems to be under the impression he's Hina's grandfather.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, what the fuck?
I thought the back of her head could be like thicker.
Yeah. Needs to pop out a bit more.
Yeah, the line should be going down more vertically.
Yeah, like that.
No, it's not about on the back. Oh, and I think I'm a little bit behind. Sorry. Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Now I wonder if it's too wide, but nah, it's fine.
Hang on, let me try tweaking it again.
Yeah,
related subject.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so basically he just like dotes over Hina, and like because he likes Hina so much, he just like spur of the moment appoints Nia as his successor, and then he just immediately like, no.
Yeah. Dude, I just oversee your legitimate businesses. I'm not
I'm actually not sure what Nita does. He kind of just sits around the office.
The implication I was getting was that he maintains like a kind of the white collar part of the Yakuza organizations.
Yeah.
Like he launders money essentially.
Yeah. There's also that bit where he hits Sabu with an ashtray.
Oh yeah.
You know, for that documentary. That documentary episode's weird.
Yeah, honestly, okay. Another problem I have with the show, I think the first half is a lot funnier than the second half.
Yeah,
like way funnier.
Yeah, I think in the second half you're kind of mostly in it for stuff with his homie.
Yeah,
but like beyond that, like it starts getting a little too experimental with the episode formats, I think.
Yeah, it's just not as entertaining.
Yeah. Although I think there is some pretty funny stuff in the second half.
There's a couple of good bits, but the two big
episodes. Let's see what I'll do in the second half of that. Like,
all right, you've seen the
Yeah, I've seen the show probably. I think I've seen it all the way through twice. But I've seen like most of it a third time.
Cool. But yeah, it does kind of jump the shark like halfway through, and then not jump the sharks is a little bit extreme because there's still good stuff after that. It's not like fucking
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Set half episodes. Let's see what we got here. Anzu taking up working at the restaurant. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nita trying to ask Naruto out. Like that one's all right.
Yeah.
They kind of on all along. Let's see. The woman from the future, like, observing Hina.
Yeah, that one was okay.
Yeah. I kind of like that they don't just forget about the dawn. Like, that's actually a matter she has to address.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, there's that classmate that sees Hina using her powers.
Oh yeah, I thought that was, I I I just didn't think that was funny, like at all.
I think there are jokes in it,
Yeah.
but yeah. Um, it is a very cringe comedy episode.
Yeah, which is just, that's usually like a non-starter for me. I just cannot stand that kind of comedy.
Yeah. It kind of depends what it is for me, but
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah. They bring it. They do the mouth thing later than I thought. Like, I kind of thought that was like the halfway point, but like, no, the
No,
episode with her
no.
on the island that's episode 9.
Yeah, that's one thing that surprised me. Just like, okay, we're doing this now. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that. No, that was definitely not halfway through.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. We've been going for about 50 minutes. Also, we weren't really entirely sure how much we'd have to say on this one because it's a mostly straightforward show. It's just like a good comedy.
Yeah, we're just gushing. Even when we're talking
Yeah.
about the bad stuff, it's like the bad stuff is pretty minuscule. Although I'd say dropping off in the second half is pretty bad. Like,
Yeah,
cause the
but
two,
I'd still say it's worth watching all the way through.
yeah,
But
I don't know if I would even say that because there's, I don't know. I'm just struggling to think of like a really good moment in the second half that I think is like, aside from, I guess, the stuff with Anzu, the stuff with Anzu in the episode where Hitomi is being forced to get an apartment. That's kind of it.
yeah. Let's see. Those. I think the snow stuff is all right.
It's
Like when they're
okay.
trapped in the mountain.
It's okay. That was kind of another problem with the show. I never found their classmates very funny.
They had their moments, but for the most part, not really.
Yeah.
I would say the funniest of them is that girl, but she's more out of focus compared to the boys.
Oh yeah, the inspector.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
From what I understand, post time skip, they're basically replaced to 2 other boys anyway. So.
What the fuck is the point of what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Let's see. Oh, another good thing that happens in the second half is the bit where like Hina's like trying to throw a party for Nita.
Oh yeah, that was okay.
Yeah.
It was mostly kind of boring, but it had a good payoff.
Yeah. That's kind of thing. It's like, yeah, the build up I don't think is that great, but like whenever he like gets there,
Yeah,
so that's pretty funny.
Yeah, because the joke is that she wants to. Nita's been promoted with the Yakuza. She wants to throw a party with them, and through like a comedy of errors, like each like thing she gets an idea to do for the party is something he would do for a funeral.
Yeah.
And so by the time he gets in, he's basically just walking into a funeral party for him.
Yeah. I think he's kind of cool with it.
Yeah. He kind of understands, okay, she's trying to do something nice. This is just how her brain is.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going for about an hour. I think we've like more or less said what there is to say. It's a good show, like watch it.
Yeah.
But I do think that it is kind of a thing of like going by the show. It feels like the time skip was probably called for right about this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't get a season 2, but yeah.
Like I've heard the Blu-ray sales in Japan weren't great.
Oh, okay.
To be fair, it was kind of as the manga was winding down.
Oh, okay.
Like the manga ended like a year after the show did, so.
Huh.
Who knows? Maybe you'll get season 2 at some point. Devil's Part Timer is.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Devil's the Part Timer is one of the things on the list.
Yeah.
We've both seen it before, but we want to watch it again and gush.
Yeah. Right, I do have issues with that. I have more issues with that than I have with Hinamatsuri.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but okay. I remember having problems with that too. Yeah.
But I still like it.
Yeah, it's something where I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Yeah.
I feel like there was should we talk about there was one scene in particular that I do love in this show, and I think I'm just gonna have to gush about that real quick.
Sure.
That's the Gentleman's Club scene.
Yeah.
Just gotta pull it up because I brought up the picture for it earlier. It's kind of the moment where I think a lot of shows will have this, where it's just that's the moment where you kind of get sucked in and you know what the show is doing. You appreciate how good it is.
Yeah, that's the end of the second episode.
Yeah.
I feel like the second episode is kind of what hooks you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But second and third together, really.
And this episode, in this moment in particular, because what it is it's kind of the one where Hitomi kind of accepts, where Nita accepts that that Hina is going to be part of his family.
Yeah.
He's just, it's just him getting drunk at the bar. Hitomi's with him. They're getting close, and he admits that he's taking care of this girl, and everyone is just kind of cool with it in the bar.
Yeah.
And then because they're all getting drunk, they all just get more and more worked up until they just decide, you know what, make this party great? Yeah, wait. You know what we gotta do? We gotta go to the fucking Gentleman's Club. Get some strippies. And so they all just go into the fucking street chanting, Gentlemen's Club, Gentlemen's Club. Like, to this
and
crowd.
then you like the flashes of them like partying while like the entire time Hitomi's just like, what?
Yeah, Hitomi is the only sober person at this party.
Yeah.
And also a 12-year-old girl just watching these people like make it rain on some strippers.
While Hina's like actively taking part.
Yeah, Hina, the other 12-year-old girl, is having fun fucking with just fucking around.
Yeah.
The point of like there's a in the later episode where Nita introduces Hina to his mom and his sister as like, this is your extended family. They ask her what part about living with Nita do you like the most. Nita says the Gentleman's Club.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another like later episode I think is pretty good.
I think that was the halfway point because I was watching that earlier tonight.
Yeah, my bad.
I think that was like episode 5.
Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to see here. Oh, that's episode 6.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's like right at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
But speaking of episode 5, that's the one where they're like trying to sell the TVs.
Oh god, yeah, the TV episode's great.
Especially Hina. Hina's the funniest part of that.
Nita, I want a TV. Yeah, just so many great bits with Nita in that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the final point, like, this was, out of all the stuff we've had to rewatch, and for me, watched for the first time, this was a great one.
Yeah.
On the subject.
Yeah, I don't try to rent it. It's available on Funimation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure on the Blu-ray of it.
If you guys are curious about checking out the manga, make friends with someone who works at a bookstore.
Yeah, that's how I got some.
Yeah.
I forget if I had 2 volumes of that or 3.
It was 3 because it was a buy 2 get 3rd sale.
Okay.
Yeah. We haven't had one of those in a while on manga. It's been like usually. I think it was. I guess because we're selling it enough. Like yesterday our manga section was bricked, and now it's pretty much fine. We got lots of room in it.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense. Save it whenever sales are low.
I guess.
Or alternatively, save it for Black Friday because that's coming up.
Fuck. I'm already regretting bringing up my fucking job. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, quickly parlay it into working in an office and then buy your order some chocolates.
Yes. Yes, basically.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure I know what that's a reference to.
Hitomi, like whenever she ends up working at the office and like buys some chocolates
Oh
for that
yeah.
woman who's trash talking her.
Oh yeah. God, I forgot that in addition to like all of the fucking jobs she has, like her bazillion jobs, one of them is just working at a nondescript office.
Yeah, post time skip, she's a CEO.
Huh. And what else? I'm assuming she's also a Yakuza?
I know she has Yakuza connections.
Okay.
Um,
Post time skip, she's what, like 16?
I think the time skip is 2 years, so like 14.
She's fucking 14 and she's a CEO. Actually, you know what? That's within the norm for anime characters.
I know she's also her dad's boss.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
And apparently even he doesn't recognize her whenever she wears glasses. So
Oh, this is set in the DC universe.
yeah, apparently it's only a Superman.
Yes. I mean, that would explain why she can do so many jobs at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see.
On the subject of this being a new thing to watch for me.
Yes.
Like we said, this was I picked this from a list that Martin put together that was just what would be like good shows to watch to unwind after Bebop.
Yeah.
And we did wonder about, because Special A is already on the table. I basically only have one more episode to watch. He's gonna try and bum rush it pretty quick. So we did ask, like, do you want to just pick one off the list as opposed to randomly rolling? And Martin prefers to roll.
Yeah, I did narrow it down a bit, but it's like, at least for the time being, I prefer to roll it. I'm not rolling it out in the future picking something, but for now, it's like I'll probably just roll something as like a B show to Special A, and we'll just kind of have those together. Maybe I'll pick something after we finish Special A, depending on how that's.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna try not to have 2 months before we do that.
Yeah. We want to. There was, like we said, a bunch of weird circumstances kept us from getting this one out on time, but we're gonna try and pick up the pace on these.
Yes.
We're gonna grind our bending skills.
Yeah. Be at most a month.
Yes.
But for real though, yeah, I'm gonna try to be like much quicker about getting through Special A.
So everybody in the chat, we're gonna ask you guys, like, pop up. Hang on.
Yeah.
Is there a way to, like, bing everyone in the chat?
I mean, I would assume if they pay attention, they'll hear it.
True.
What?
Where Martin's gonna randomize the list, and somebody's gonna let me give her the fuck. I realized I had the Gentleman's Club still on. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So somebody can pick a number between 1 and 95.
Let me just put this in because we got one person, one lovely person who we know is not.
Yeah, actually, our chat has a few people in it right now.
Okay, cool.
Also, we really should start putting chat on the screen.
Oh shit. Yeah, we probably should. I don't know how to do that.
I know I did it before whenever I was setting up my like web hunt thing. I did like 2 episodes of, but it's like, I didn't fit all of that next time.
Cool. How do we? What was the range again? 1 and 95.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Ghost Forge has suggested a number. It's a pretty good one. Does anyone else want to throw one out if you're listening?
Yeah. I find it interesting that our chat is apparently censored. We should probably try and fix that.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, can we not type in?
I know you can, like, uncensored chat. I don't know how you do that, but we'll look into it later.
I can say it.
Well, no, I think he said sex number. But anyway. Oh, okay, I see. It's like a personal setting. It's not like a chat setting. Okay.
Oh.
That fits it.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I'm done with that. Alright, let's see what we get.
Big money, big money.
Katoro Connect.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long was this one?
If you tap the OVAs, it's 17.
Okay, so it's not a full 26.
Nah.
I know. This is another.
Connect will be interesting.
This is another one where I have not seen it. You have.
It's not even been that long since I watched it.
Oh, do you think it's recent enough that you're not even gonna bother with a rewatch?
I'll probably didn't watch it anyway. I don't know if I'll rewatch the OVAs.
It's on High Dive.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, yes. So, yeah, that one will be interesting because it's a show that for the most part I'm very positive on, and then the OVAs happen.
Yeah, yeah. I'm curious.
Yeah. I just will trust it originally come to it. It's nothing else. I find it a very easy show to watch. I've only watched the OVAs once, but in terms of the main show, I probably watched it like 3 or 4 times.
Interesting.
So yeah, I find it a pretty easy show to watch.
Okay, good to know.
It'd be a nice whiplash from this, considering it's a lot more weighty.
It'll be very different from how you think it's gonna feel after Special A.
Honestly, I would say it's probably a good companion piece to that because it's sort of an inverse of it.
Cool. Oh,
they're both kind of centered on like, boy girl relationships of club that doesn't really do anything.
Okay. I've got things I can say on that, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because when we get to the Special A episode, unless Morton has a radically different response to it than I'm expecting, because I've watched most of it, but it's like, I think that episode is gonna be a shitting on it, and I'm looking forward to shitting.
It's been a long time since I watched Special A, so I remember the broad strokes, so I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it.
Okay.
I'm not guessing I'm gonna be great on it. Do you want to bring up a poster or something for Horror Tonight just to give some idea of what we're looking at here?
Yeah, sure. Hang on.
We should do both that and Special A. Just show them both.
Okay, let me give Special A. Hang on.
I'll say of the two, Totoro Connect is the less freaky mutant looking.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna spotlight this a lot when we get into Special A, but pull up and
everyone looks like Waluigi.
Everyone is either Waluigi or Slender Man in Special A. Like, the poster doesn't make this apparent, but I'm gonna grab a shit ton of pictures to illustrate just the degree to which there are just freaky mutant proportions in that fucking anime.
Yeah.
The poster is a lie.
Yeah.
This is Special A. This is going to be the next episode.
Yes, unless we somehow both wind up binging hardcore through Totoro Connect like crazy. But more likely Special A.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably just going to be Special A.
Yeah.
And Kokoro Connect. Oh, wow. No, the posters on this look good. Was this done by the same people who did fucking K-On? Because a lot of the designs are making me think of K-On.
I feel like that's partially deliberately, but let me see.
Martin's gonna find a poster of this one. We gotta get back to drunk.
I know the poster I kind of want to link to. I can't find a full shot of it. Okay, this doesn't have the logo. This doesn't have the logo, but it's more zoomed in than the one I found that does.
Okay.
Oh
shit. When we're doing this, I don't get when we're streaming like this, I don't get little notifications.
Okay, well, I'm living under this.
Okay.
Oh, huh.
Wait, hang on, let me pull it open. Oh god. Yeah, that waste is microscopic. Somebody in the chat just pointed out that the main character of Kokoro Connect just has a really just fucking dent in her torso.
Yeah. Oh no, for Special A.
Special A. Yeah, Special A. That's some Jessica Rabbit shit right there. So yeah, even you can tell.
Okay, the person who directed Kokoro Connect did a lot of things on this list actually.
Huh.
like in a row directed that, Dust Made in Amnesia, and Watamote.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, all of them are items on this list.
Also directed like the Nedima that has the question mark, but that's not the one on the list.
Yeah. I've seen episodes of the Negima with a question mark. The first show is bad enough without going into that fucking monstrosity.
Yeah, I've heard that one's way worse.
It is so much fucking worse. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Negima is another one of the shows where I'm actually really dreading getting to, where I'm both kind of dreading and eager to get to it, because holy shit, that anime was that's in terms of adaptations, that's got to be one of the worst ones. Actually, maybe not the. Fuck.
I mean, it's not even the worst adaptation of Nedima.
No, it's not. It's the fucking. The manga. The anime was so subpar, and the manga was so good.
So the adaptations, I was kind of hoping for Steins Gate, but like, I'm not willing to cheat the random.
Yeah, yeah. RNG must be obeyed.
That said, we very nearly hit Santoria, and like, oh, thank God we didn't.
I forget what Sankaria was.
That's like the zombie romance thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, Santoria is a show I am dreading watching again.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Yeah, there's more than a couple of items on the list that we are actively not looking forward to watching, but put on to torture ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't looking forward to rewatching Cowboy Bebop. So.
Yeah, true. You were. Yeah, that was an interest. Yeah, maybe some.
I was more into it seeing it again.
Yeah. So maybe maybe some of the things we're going to be rewatching will be easier this time.
Yeah. In any case, yeah. You want to go ahead and wrap it up there then?
Yeah.
Got an hour and 12 minutes. And I didn't expect to go this long on Hinamatsuri.
Me neither, but I'm pleasantly surprised. Like, yeah, we got a lot to talk about for this show. Both has its flaws. Maybe don't stick around for the ending, but it's still really good.
Yeah.
Very funny and
hits. I didn't watch it all the way through, but it's one of those things that, like, I will kind of concede the first half is better.
Yeah. Very funny and hits you in the feels. So, one more key. Actually, wait. Should we keep a counter as to shows that have dads who like it shows about like dad adopting kid, because I can think of at least one other one on this list.
Yeah.
Maybe not dad specifically, but just like parental figure, like unexpected parental male figure.
I mean, honestly, that based like from a certain perspective, that's based on Cowboy Bebop.
Huh. I don't know. There's not a lot of focus put on raising Edward.
True.
Or Edward, period.
Yeah.
Jet puts more attention into raising Ein than he does Edward.
He puts more attention to Bonsai.
He really does all this shit. Either way.
Anyways, yes. Yeah, I do thank everyone for coming out though. Yeah, next will probably be Special A, and then probably Tutorial Net. We'll have to see what we roll after we finish Special A, because I do kind of prefer the idea of having like 2 shows active at a time.
Yeah, it makes it a lot less forceful, a lot less tedious and hard to get through.
It's kind of it's kind of easier to sit down and watch through a show if you got options.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they're trying to bum rush through Special A. Hopefully we can get this done in like a week or 2. But
oh yeah, I would love that, because I kind of want to talk about this while a lot of my memories are still sort of fresh.
Fair.
Granted, I am gonna have to go through it. Showing the pictures worked out so well that I am gonna have to at least go through and grab like some specific screenshots of Special A.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone who showed up, and I guess we'll see you next time.
Yes. Thank you for your time. Bye.
Say goodnight, Martin.
Good night, me.
Ah!